Ani, bonsoir, and welcome to this public hearing. I need someone to move and second the agenda. Willie and Roger, all those in favor? Any disclosure of pecuniary interests? Seeing none. So this evening, there's a public hearing scheduled for one zoning bylaw amendment. The Planning Act requires that a public hearing be held before council decides whether or not to pass a zoning bylaw amendment. The public hearing serves two purposes. First, to present to council and the public the details and background to proposed rezoning. And second, to receive comments from the public, the agencies before a council decision is made. Monsieur Dumont will provide a summary of the application. From there, the applicant or their representatives will be requested to make a presentation if they wish, followed by questions from the public, either in favor or against the proposal. Council will then have the opportunity to question the applicant, the director of planning, or anyone giving presentation. The zoning bylaw amendment will then be considered by council later this evening. Monsieur Dumont, would you please advise how the public notice was provided?
Thank you. Notice of public hearing was posted in the municipal office and was sent by mail to the assessed owners within 120 meters of the property subject for the proposed zoning bylaw amendment, and to those persons and agencies likely to have an interest in the application tonight. The notice was sent on September 28th, 2023, being over 20 days prior to this evening's meeting. Included with each notice was an explanation of the purpose and effect of the proposed zoning bylaw amendment and a key map showing the location of the site.
Thank you. I now declare this portion of the hearing to be a public hearing to deal with application number ZBA 23-14 FR 1866551 Ontario Limited. Monsieur Dumont, will you please summarize the purpose and effect of the proposed zoning bylaw amendment and provide any additional information and correspondence relevant to the application?
Thank you. With respect to this application tonight and some additional information, on October 12th, which was last Thursday, the planning board heard the severance application. So to provide the council this evening some context, the planning board approved conditionally the severance, and the severance was to create one residential lot from the subject property, which has frontage on Highway 64 in the municipality of French River, and to rezone the severed lot or a portion of that severed lot to residential one, which is why we're here tonight. And we're here this evening in front of council with respect to the zoning. And the intent again was that there's a very large parcel of land and it has frontage on Highway 64. There's a single family home that exists today with some other structures. And the purpose and intent was to create a new lot with those existing structures in place. And while doing that, the balance of the lands would be maintained as a rural zone. So part of that process where the individuals were looking at severing the lot, there was a sliver of land that was still rural, and that sliver or portion needed to be changed to residential one, which is why we're here this evening, it's more technical than anything, is to ensure that that severed parcel of land will be entirely zoned residential one, and it won't have a split zone, which means you can have two zones on one property. So we're going to eliminate that, have that removed. So when it's all said and done, you're going to have a newly created lot with a home and accessory structures on it that are going to be residential one, and the balance of the lands will remain the same, which is rural, and they have frontage on golf course. So that's the intent and purpose of the rezoning in front of council tonight. As part of that process and the process that we take, we always circulate for comments. So we did receive comments which were pertaining to the severance for the municipality of French River. So as part of the circulation for the severance, those are conditions that were going to be added on, and this is going to be a condition that the zoning bylaw amendment application tonight also be approved for that severance. So with that said, there was no concerns or objections from from the neighboring properties in the area. We didn't receive any phone calls or emails. And I'd be open to any further questions or clarification that the council may have with respect to the rezoning application tonight. And before I end my presentation, I also wanted to share that we have Aaron, who is representing the owners. He's a registered professional planner with Tulloch Engineering. He was the agent on this application through this process, so he's participating as well virtually tonight. I just wanted to share that with council. And with that said, in summary, the application is consistent with the provincial policy and is also conforms to the intent of the official plan for the subdivision planning area and conforms with the intent of the zoning bylaw for the municipality of French River, therefore can be supported from a planning perspective.
Thank you. Aaron, welcome. And would you like to add anything to the application?
Yes, through you, Chair. I really have no comments beyond the summary Mr. Dumont has provided us tonight. I think he did a great job outlining the purpose and intent of the application. I agree that the rezoning application does represent good planning by resolving a split zoning situation, resolving from the consent that was heard on October 12th. And I'd be happy to answer any questions that may come up. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any questions from council? No? Since there's no questions, I declare this public hearing to be concluded, and it's now in order for a council member to make a motion and for council to consider the application. So I need a mover and a seconder. Renee, seconded by Roger.
It is duly moved and seconded. Be it resolved that bylaw 2023-55, being a bylaw to amend zoning bylaw 2014-23 as amended, 1866551 Ontario Limited, be read a first, second, and third time and finally passed.
Thank you. All those in favor? Thank you. Please be advised there is a 20-day appeal period during which time any person or public body may no later than 20 days after the day that the giving of the written notice as required by section 34-18 of the Planning Act is completed. The appeal is to the Ontario Land Tribunal by filing with the clerk of the municipality a notice of appeal setting out the objections to the bylaw and the reason in support of the objection, accompanied by the fee prescribed under the Ontario Land Tribunal. During this period, no building permit may be issued or other work commenced. I need a mover and a second to adjourn. Willie and Dave. All those in favor? Thank you. Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you, council.
Thank you, Matt.